Well, it's obviously an awesome event. I think just reflecting back on it, thankful we get to play in the Big Ten. I mean, normally when there's outdoor events, all that falls on the institution that's hosting it. It's a ton of work that goes into this, and to piggyback on the Winter Classic, and our conference does such a great job in making it feel professional for our guys and the experience that they had, and obviously ended up being a heck of a hockey game. Could have went either way, and our group, I thought, sort of good job of responding within the game, and we were up 2-0. They tie it. We go up. They tie it at the end, right? A lot of times you can melt in those situations, but we talk about playing, for 60 minutes or 65, whatever it takes, and obviously Danny staying on that puck right to the end to get the win. But it was awesome to kind of share. We had a ton of people come watch the game, alums. We got a ton of alum in the Chicago area. A ton of people from our athletic department traveled here to watch our team and watch our guys play. And so I thought it was a great event. And again, thankful we could be a part of it.
Danny, you've had your share of game winners here and exciting moments, but just what does it mean to do it in this kind of setting and environment?
Yeah, I mean, that was like a dream, that's one you're never, ever going to forget. So, I mean, that was amazing, unforgettable.
What did you see as that play was developing, and did you think you were going to have that opportunity as you crept closer to it? What was going through your mind the whole time?
Yeah, I just knew there wasn't much time left, so I was going to try to get to the net like any way I could. I just kind of pushed it to the middle, kind of hopped around my guy, and then I tried to hit Isaac back door, but it bounced off their guy, came back to me, and I just whacked it at the net and went in.
Danny, what is it about these moments that you seem to just hit another gear? What is it about these that draws that out of you?
I don't know if there's anything I would necessarily do differently, but I'm just super competitive, even in practice, every day. So I think it probably comes from that.
Luca, you're 6-0 now. In the games you've played, had some big wins at the GLI, another big win here tonight, and the puck, especially more in that second third, was bouncing kind of a lot more than you might normally see. So did you have to adjust your game at all to kind of go with that in a different rink, in a different setting?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the dashers were bouncing like crazy. So, making sure you're not overplaying the shot, it's coming right back at you. So I definitely had to adjust to that.
How was your vision, Luca, from a lighting standpoint, being in the big open stadium like that?
It was fine. There wasn't much of an adjustment to make.
Luca, what did you see on the goal that was reviewed? How did that feel to you, and what did you think had went on there?
Yeah, I mean, it's at the end of the day, it's out of my control. Obviously, I don't want to let the puck in, but things happen, and I had to forget about the next one.
Coach alluded to it. They tie the game late. Is it an oh crap, or is it okay, let's go?
I think our team has done a really great job of no panic, and if they score a goal late or we're down a bit, a couple goals, there's no panic. So I think our players do a great job of that.
Luca, when it's cold weather like this, is it a good thing to stay a little bit busy and kind of keep moving out there?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the toes were a little chilly, but the more shots, the better in this type of environment.
Daniel, these games are supposed to have kind of a pond hockey feel to them. Finishing it up 3-on-3, probably a lot of snow on the ice built up over time. When you look back on it, will it feel like it was kind of outdoor?
Yeah, I definitely. I mean, there's a ton of people there, but it's a little far away, so it kind of just feels like you're on the outdoor rink. I grew up playing on one all the time, and it felt pretty similar, so that was awesome.
How much obviously a big event, how much do you settle in quickly and it becomes a game like any other game?
Yeah, I would say it took a little bit of adjusting, maybe the first shift or two, just the lighting differences, the boards, the ice a little harder because it's cold out. So yeah, I think it takes a little bit.
What's it like it's freezing in the stands, so I'm wondering when you're on the bench, what does it feel like? And when you're net, are there moments where you can really barely feel your toes?
Yeah, definitely. I think in the second period, the wind kicked up a little bit, and there were a few moments that was pretty cold, but you got to stay moving.
Daniel, you scored the second goal right off a rebound. Tell me explain how that one came about. What do you remember about that?
Yeah, I think we just had a great forecheck. I think I got it back, passed it up to Orbitz and shot. Just rebound came right back out to me. Just shot it back on that.
Did you tip that first one? get a stick on it? Or
No, I tried, but I didn't get a stick on it.
Were you guys able to kind of take in the environment and look around during the national anthem? And if so, what will you remember most about this game?
Yeah, the national anthem was pretty surreal. I wasn't expecting the fireworks or anything, so I mean that was unforgettable.
Coach, how do you think the teams handled the #1 ranking as well as the big stage here in Wrigley and all eyes on Spartan hockey right now?
I think they've done a great job with it, and I think that's a little bit the product. We don't really talk about it too much, and we're obviously proud of our guys and the start we've had to the season or midway point, but it's always about trying to get better. And one of the nice things of being ranked 1 is, as far as our guys' development, is you see everyone's best, right? You got a target on your back, and so if we want to have success in a game, we got to make sure we play our best. And it doesn't mean you're going to win, but make sure every team sees our best. That's our mentality. And I thought they did a great job. I mean, you look at the emotions of playing in a game like this. Obviously, there was a build up to it, and to have the emotion within the game too, right? There's one thing to play in this type of game and then be up 2-0, and then tie, and then go through all that. I'm super proud of the guys, and a good one to keep in the memory bank.
Do we have any more questions for the players? Because we'll release them. Mary, you got one?
Danny, earlier in December, you guys kind of moved around lines, now playing on that top line with Ike and Charlie. Just kind of talk about what that's been like with the three of you, because you guys have clearly had a lot of success in the past few games.
Yeah, I mean, it's been awesome. I'll play with anyone, but playing with those two, both unbelievable players, really good vision. It definitely makes me a better player, and I think we've been working pretty well together.
Tyler?
Luca, can you just speak to what these last 7 days have been like for you and the opportunities that you've had with Trey at World Juniors, and how proud are you of yourself and what you've been able to do stepping in?
Yeah, obviously the last week it's been awesome. It's been a great experience, and super proud of the way the boys have handled it. It's a lot of hockey and not a lot of time, so super proud of the team and couldn't have had a better week.
All right, we good? All right, so you guys can.
Thank you.
We'll open the floor up to questions for Coach.
Coach, not to be forgotten in the game winner, a key defensive zone draw, so little things lead to good things, right?
No doubt, yeah. We had, you get a timeout back. We had burned our timeout in regulation on the challenge, so then, overtime you get another timeout. So in our rotation, we ended up having Tanner Kelly and Tommy Maniso out there, and neither one of them are center, so we needed to get a center out there. And Shouds he's a gamer, you know what I mean? And that was a huge draw. You lose that, you're putting yourself in a spot where you're probably Luca's gonna have to make a save at some point. So that was a really good play. And I think Shouds ended up changing too. You talk about putting the team first, right? He won the draw, come off, and he changed, and we ended up getting Ike out there, and Danny ended up scoring the game winner.
Adam, why do you think Danny excels in these moments? These kind of overtime, need a game winner sorts of moments. Why does he excel in these?
Well, the moment doesn't eat him up, and I think that knowing where Danny grew up in Traverse City, right, and so he's had to really work to get to this point, and it hasn't always been smooth for him, right. He's got into junior hockey. He got sent down to North American League, back up to the USHL, North American League, back up, and but he's got a chip on his shoulder, and I think he's out there trying to prove every day that he brings value, and he certainly does. I mean, I look at our 2.5 years we've been here. I'd say if you ranked our forwards, I'd have a hard time believing he wouldn't be ranked in the top 3 for pretty much every game we've played. He does a lot that helps us win, and he's been able to find the back of the net a little more this year, and so thankful we have him, and he's a big part of our team.
Coach, not just the environment getting used to, but longer intermission breaks, the extra stoppages during the periods. Just how did your team pride yourself on being, a lot of conditioning, and especially with the short rest? How did you think your team adjusted to tonight?
Yeah, I actually think that would probably be the ice is one thing, right? Both teams are playing on it, and the breaks, that is different, right? Normally we're 1 TV timeout, and it's a minute long. We went to 3 that are 2 minutes long. And so I think that's hard for the guys, right? You're used to kind of cranking it up and keeping going, but I thought they did a good job. I mean, that's one of the benefits of playing. Many benefits of playing in a game like this, right? Is you got to be prepared for any type of situation. And again, I thought as the game went on, they got more used to, okay, you got a little breather here, stay focused, and be ready to go.
With the coaching staff, you guys don't wear hats when it's 0 degrees? Is that like an
No,
outdoor?
yeah, that's right, yeah. Yeah, this is like spring in Sheboygan. No, it actually wasn't that bad. It wasn't that bad. It was, they got heaters on the bench, and then, you know, you got, you know, some adrenaline from the game and all that. So I thought it was totally fine.
This stretch you had dating back, you know, Minnesota series, can you kind of, has this been, I don't want to say the best stretch you played, but certainly different types of challenges, and I mean, a lot of hockey in a short period in certain ways, and losing some guys. You just kind of put this stretch into words a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, it's not easy. Our conference isn't easy, right? And you know, you look at we in December we went on the road to Wisconsin, and they tagged us the first game, and we ended up coming back and winning that game in overtime, and then to go out to Minnesota, obviously a really good team that, you know, we hadn't had a ton of success recently there, and to do what we did and then go play in the GLI. I mean, that's a great tournament. Michigan Tech does an unbelievable job hosting it. Ended up playing Western Michigan, was a top 4 team, right? And then coming here, you know, and playing Thursday at home. I mean, coming out of break here, you know, what did we play, 4 games in 7 nights? And so, you know, I tell our guys, like, you want to be a pro, this is what you would do for 7 months of the year, right? And but our guys aren't conditioned for that, and then you're coming out of break. So I think it says a lot about the guys of just staying with it. And again, there's still a lot of hockey to be played, but that's a good stretch. I think we found out a lot about our team. I think we like a lot about our team, but I think we still got room to grow.
How would you best describe what Luke has been able to accomplish the last 7 days?
Yeah, amazing. I mean, again, it's one of the hardest things to do, right? Is lose yourself in the team. And you look at Luka. You know, he's a great goalie. He just happens to be behind, you know, one of the best in our country. You know, and so our job as coaches is we're going to put together a lineup that we feel gives us the best chance. That doesn't mean that we don't think we can win with Luka in the net. You know, and I got a ton of respect for him because he works every day. He doesn't mope and trip over his lip. It's always just as simple as, you know, I tell him Trey's starting, he says, got a coach, I'll be ready when you call my number, and he's certainly proven that. And we know that about him. Our guys have a ton of respect for him, but I mean, that's a especially to play that many games, right? He hasn't played a ton, and to play 4 games in 7 nights and play the way he did, he definitely was a big piece of us being able to win those 4 games in that stretch. And good to know down the stretch, right? As we definitely have 2 really good goaltenders.
Could you ask for anything more, Coach, to have a backup goalie that plays that infrequently that can step in and do what he's done?
No, I mean, but again, I think too, a little credit here. I mean, he puts the work in, and I think Jared DeMichael does a great job with the goalies, right? So I get it, everyone wants to play games, and we got other guys that are good players that haven't played that much. So your job is, if you're not playing, is to make sure you're ready if your number's called. And you know, D-Mike does a great job with our goalies, and you look at Trey, the step he's made from last year to this year, and now Luka hadn't played a ton, but I mean, practice is where you get better. I know the guys want to play the games, and that's a little bit of coach talk, but that's the reality. Is if you want to improve as a player, like, practice is where it's at. The games are for us to evaluate what you need to work on, and you know, Luka's obviously done that.
Coach, you got a couple of guys playing at Worlds right now. Have you been able to pay attention to their games at all? And has their absence affected the locker room at all?
Well, yeah, we watched all of them. Yeah, we watched all their games, and Max actually just got back, so he will, you know, he'll get a few days here. That tournament's a ton on mentally, and you think of the stress on the players, especially Max's 4th year, right? It's and they were under siege a little bit in the tournament, so he's defending a lot, and then Trey's obviously, they got an opportunity to win another gold medal tomorrow, and he's done a heck of a job. But yeah, we're you know, texting with the guys throughout the tournament, following them, and super proud of regardless if they are winning or not. You know, I think those guys both represent Michigan State the right way on an international stage.
I'm sure there are travel plans at hand, but are there any team plans to watch Trey in that gold medal game, or figure that out later?
Yeah, no, we'll talk about it on the bus. I mean, I think that, you know, tomorrow's we're gonna get in late, and you know, I want to make sure the guys they'll all be watching the game, whether we get together as a team and do it. I do think they need a breather here, you know, and so sometimes some guys need to just sit on their own couch and rest, and other guys want to get together. I'm sure there'll be guys in the rink doing recovery and watching the game.
Did you get a sense for the crowd? You talked about it earlier, but I know they're a long way away. But I know you're into the game and so forth. But do you ever hear them in terms of the loudness of the stadium?
Yeah, it's different than, obviously, you know, at Mon or the Kohl Center, they're right on top of you, right? So you even on Vlad, the first goal is like you're kind of like, did it go in? And then the reaction's a little bit delayed. And but it looked like a great turnout. It's hard to see with the lights. And I know we had a ton of alums that were in town and to watch it, and they either live here or traveled here to watch it. And yeah, I thought it was an awesome event.
They showed some toughness too. 18 degrees out there, probably, fans.
Yeah. I think Izzo was up in a heated suite, so I don't know how tough it was.
Speaking of Vlad's first goal, what can a moment like that do for him? It obviously comes from scoring a lot in the USHL, hasn't really been on the sports. You missed some time here this year.
Yeah, he's been out, and I think, man, our conference for a defenseman to step in is tough, and you look at the speed you're handling, and there's a reason he's produced like he has. I think you saw that on that play, right? I mean, not many guys can sift that puck down in there and find a way. They almost had eyes, but we see him do it in practice, and he was out for a bit, and but I think he's improving his skating, getting better, and he's got big time poise up top, which is really hard to teach, and he's got a little bit of ice water in his veins, so it's good to see him get rewarded. He worked really hard over Christmas break to get back healthy.
Adam, how would you rank the physical strength, emotional strength of your team right now? I mean, quick recovery after Christmas, GLI, couple days, boom, now this.
Pretty good, yeah.
Maybe
Pretty
a couple
good.
days, you think, or ready to go tomorrow?
We'll probably, we'll give them some time. We ask a lot of our guys, and I think even the way we try to play, right? I got a ton of respect for our guys because it's not it's a fun way to play for sure. Right. If I was a player, I'd want to play it, but it takes a lot of effort and a lot of sweat, and we practice hard and train hard, and I think they obviously did a great job over Christmas break, right? As they were gone for how many days, 10 days, and that's when you hope the guys understand it's not about the coach telling you to do it, like that you take responsibility for your development. You need to go home and take care of your body, enjoy family, and 100% that's what is the most important part of it. But we're going to play 4 games in 7 nights when we get back here, so I think our guys did a heck of a job, and we're ready for the test.
We have one last question.
Coach, you put Vlad with Nick to start the year, and then you moved him, now you have him as a fellow freshman with Owen. I know Vlad's an older freshman, being 21, but just kind of what gave you the trust to put those two together, and what have you thought of those two together? I know that was also Max being out as well.
Yeah. I mean, that plays into it, right? And I think Wesley's played really good hockey, and Wesley was a captain in the USHL, and he's a guy that I think can continue to improve, and Vlad, I think between the two of them, they do a good job for us, and getting Max back he's an important piece of our team, and like I said before, we're gonna put together a lineup we think gives us the best chance to win a hockey game. But we're happy with the growth of our defensemen. I think that going into the season, that's kind of what we thought, right? We thought we really had depth up front, but how much can our D improve? And so far they have.
All right, thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Just so you guys know, we have a scoring change on the game winner. The assists go to